In the first video, we have seen that connecting two subsystems in series or in cascaded form is equal to convolving the impulse response of the first system to the impulse response of the second system, right? And we have just seen it's a mathematical result or a fact. In this particular video, we are going to analyze why it is true, how we arrived into that result, why connecting two systems in cascade is equal to convolving the impulse response of one system to the impulse response of the second system, right? So here also we are going with a mathematical proof. At the end of the video, you will get a clear idea why we are convolving two impulse responses instead of cascading them together. So instead of cascading two systems together, we can simply convolve the impulse responses of these two systems and use it as a single system, right? And then give the input and take the output.
Here you can see that if I give x of t as the input of the system with h1 of t as the impulse response, I will get some output called, let us say, z of t, right? And if you give that z of t as the input to the system 2, where the impulse response is h2 of t, I will get y of t. So because of commutative property, so we can also write it like this: x of t with h2 of t as the first system and h1 of t as the second system. Then also you can get the same output y of t. So this is because of the commutative property. So from the first video, we have seen that the connecting systems in cascade will result in convolving the impulse response. So if I give x of t, then this should be h1 of t convolution h2 of t, right? Then you will get y of t as the output, right? So connecting two systems in cascade is equal to convolving the impulse responses inside the system and then giving the input to take the output. So all these things are equal, connections are equal, right? So here you have to notice that z of t is the output of the first system in the cascade, right? So z of t is because of the interaction. So what is z of t? Z of t is the interaction between x of t and h1 of t. So what interaction it is? It is convolution interaction, right? So we can write an expression for y of t, that is now y of t. So this is the first output, z of t is the first output. Now what is y of t? Y of t is the interaction between z of t and h2 of t. So we can write y of t is equal to z of t interacted with the h2 of t. So these are the two equations we have. So we can analyze from these equations, right? So I have to write y of t is equal to, that is the output is equal to interaction between z of t and h2 of t. So what interaction it is? It is the convolution interaction. So we have to write the convolution integral as minus infinity to plus infinity z of tau into h2 of t minus tau d tau. So this is the equation we have to write. But you have to note that our z of tau is the output of the first system, which is given by convolution of x of tau and h1 of tau. So you have to keep this idea in your mind, right? So z of tau is actually the convolution. Z of tau is convolving with h2 of t minus tau here, but that is actually a convolution of input and h1 of t. You have to keep that in mind, right? So we can write z of tau as, because already tau we have taken for as the variable in this first integration, we have to write it as z of tau is equal to h of tau convolution h1 of tau, right? And that is nothing but integral of minus infinity to plus infinity x of v, right? h1 of tau minus v dv. So why I have taken this variable like this? Because the first variable is for the first integration. So this is the interaction between z of tau and h2 of t minus tau, right? So this I have already taken the variable tau here. This is the output of another convolution. This z of tau is the convolution of another convolution, that is x of tau and h1 of tau. So I have to use another variable for the z of tau. So here it is actually convolution of a convolved signal. Actually it is a convolution of the convolved signal. So because of that reason I have taken v. So here tau is the constant value, right? Here t is the constant value, tau is the variable. if you look into this equation, t is the constant value and tau is the variable, but here tau is the constant and we have to take another variable v. So that is why we have taken this equation like this, right? So it is x of v into h1 of tau minus v dv, right? So here v is the variable of integration in the convolution integral, right? So now we have y of t is equal to z of t convolution h2 of t, which we have already seen, and here it is the convolution integral minus infinity to plus infinity z of tau into h2 of t minus tau d tau. Now if we substitute for z of tau, we can write the equation as integral minus infinity to plus infinity. I am going to open a bracket to write the z of tau equation, that is minus infinity to plus infinity x of v into h1 of tau minus v dv. So this is the expression for z tau, because z tau is the convolved output of the first system, right? So I have to represent it in terms of another convolution integral, and the remaining terms will be there, that is h2 of t minus tau into d tau. Now we have to perform a variable change. The variable change is nothing but eta is equal to tau minus v. So if you perform the variable change into the equation at wherever tau and v appears, we need to perform the interchange of order of integration also. Then you will get y of t is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of v. Again I have to open the bracket, that is integral minus infinity to plus infinity h1 of eta, because I have performed the variable change, and h2 of t minus v minus eta. This is again because of the variable change d eta, right? D eta, and I have to close the bracket, and then I have to write dv. So this is the result of variable change and interchange in the order of the integration, right? Now if you carefully observe the red color terms inside the bracket, you can see that, this is actually a kind of equation minus infinity to plus infinity h1 of eta into h2 of, if you consider t minus v as a constant, right? T minus v as a constant, right? Then you can write it as, so assume t minus v is a constant and minus eta, right? Then d eta, right? D eta. So this is the equation. If you carefully observe this particular equation, you can see that this is a convolution. Actually this is also a convolution integral, right? So this is a convolution integral. This is a convolution integral. What kind of convolution integral? It is a convolution between h1 of eta and h2 of constant minus eta. So what is that? Actually this is the convolution of h1 of t and h2 of t, right? It's a convolution of h1 of t and h2 of t. So if you can define this as h of t minus v. So why it is h of t minus v? Because here the constant is t minus v. In actual convolution integral it should be t only, but here it is t minus v. So we can say that it is h of t minus v. This h of t minus v is obtained by convolving h1 of t and h2 of t. So what is the result? H of t minus v is equal to h1 of t convolution h2 of t. If you can define like this and substitute in the above equation, that is this equation, we can get an equation in the form y of t is equal to integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of v into h of t minus v dv, right? Now if you carefully look, this is another convolution integral. This is another convolution integral with the v as the dummy variable instead of tau, right? So this can be written as convolution between x of t and h of t, right? So if we can express h of t as the convolution of h1 of t and h2 of t, then we can consider a single system where we convolve h1 of t and h2 of t, and then if you give the input x of t, you will get y of t, right? And that is equal to connecting two systems in cascade. The first system is h1 of t and the second system's impulse response is h2 of t, and if you are giving x of t here, you will get y of t in the output and z of t is the intermediate output. These two are equals, right? So cascading impulse response of an equivalent system representing the convolution of two LTI systems connected in cascade is the convolution of their individual impulse response. Once again I will repeat, the impulse response of an equivalent system representing the convolution of two LTI systems, that is this system representing the convolution of two LTI systems connected in cascade, is the convolution of their individual impulse response, right?